What if I told you there's a place on Earth where sunlight doesn't just shine, it dances, flows, and transforms stone into something alive? Picture this. You're standing in a narrow, winding canyon, so deep and twisting that the sky is just a thin strip of blue far above. The walls around you are smooth, curved, and glowing with soft reds and oranges. It's quiet, almost sacred. And then, for just a few minutes each day, something magical happens. A beam of light cuts through the darkness, not like a ray, but like a river of gold pouring down from above. It doesn't just illuminate the space, it moves, it breathes. It turns dust into glitter and stone into velvet. This is Antelope Canyon, and what you're witnessing is one of the most extraordinary light displays in the natural world. But how does it happen? And why here, in the middle of the Arizona desert? To understand the magic of these light beams, you first need to step back and see the canyon not as a beautiful place, but as a perfect storm of geology, timing, and pure chance. Millions of years ago, this region was a vast sea of sand. Over time, that sand compressed into sandstone, but it wasn't solid like granite. It was layered like a cake. Then, water arrived. Not gentle rain, but sudden, violent flash floods that ripped through the rock, carving narrow passageways with astonishing force. The result was a labyrinth of curves, arches, and chambers, all shaped by water, but brought to life by light. By the time humans discovered Antelope Canyon, it had already been sculpted into a work of art. The Navajo people who call this place home named it the place where water runs through rocks. For generations, they knew its secrets. They understood that the canyon wasn't just a beautiful space, it was a living one. And at the heart of that life were the light beams. So how does light, something we see every day, become something so otherworldly here? It starts with alignment. Antelope Canyon isn't just any crack in the earth. It's oriented almost perfectly to capture the sun at specific times of the year. During the summer months, the sun climbs high enough to send shafts of light directly down into the narrowest parts of the upper canyon. But that's only half the story. The real magic happens because of what's floating in the air: dust. Fine, suspended particles of sand and silt, stirred up by wind and movement, fill the canyon like an invisible mist. When sunlight enters through those narrow openings above, it doesn't travel in a straight line. It hits the dust. And in that moment, something extraordinary occurs. The light doesn't just pass through, it becomes visible. Each dust particle acts like a tiny mirror, reflecting and scattering the light so that we can see the beam itself, not just what it illuminates. That's why the beams look solid, almost tangible, like pillars of luminous smoke. But there's more. The walls of Antelope Canyon aren't flat. They're undulating, flowing, almost organic. When light touches them, it doesn't just bounce, it transforms. The warm, mineral-rich sandstone absorbs some wavelengths and reflects others, creating those famous glowing hues: burnt orange, deep purple, soft gold. And because the surfaces are curved, the light wraps around them, creating shadows and highlights that shift with every minute. It's like walking through a painting that changes as you move. Now, imagine being there. You're standing in semi-darkness, your eyes adjusted to the dim. Then, slowly, a beam begins to form. It starts as a faint glow from above, then sharpens into a defined column of light. You can see the dust swirling inside it, rising and falling like embers. If you reach out, your hand passes through the beam, and for a moment, you're touching light itself. It's warm, it's alive. And then just as quickly as it appeared, it's gone. The sun moves, the angle shifts. The beam dissolves back into shadow. That's the other secret of Antelope Canyon. Its beauty is fleeting. These light shows don't last for hours. In some spots, they appear for only 10 or 20 minutes a day. A few months of the year, they don't appear at all. That rarity is part of what makes the experience so powerful. You're not just seeing something beautiful, you're witnessing a moment in time that will never repeat exactly the same way again. Of course, none of this would be possible without the people who protect and share this place. The Navajo Nation carefully manages access to Antelope Canyon, ensuring that its delicate environment remains unharmed. Guides lead small groups through the narrow passages, sharing stories and pointing out the best vantage points. They know exactly when and where the light will fall. They've spent years learning the canyon's rhythms, and in doing so, they've become keepers of the light. Today, Antelope Canyon is known around the world. Its images have appeared in magazines, films, and social media feeds. But a photo can never fully capture what it feels like to stand inside that sandstone cathedral, watching light become something more than light. It's a reminder that nature doesn't need special effects to create magic. Sometimes, all it needs is the right shape, the right angle, and a little bit of dust. The next time you see a ray of sunlight streaming through a window, remember Antelope Canyon. Remember that under the right conditions, light can become a performance, a dance, a moment of pure wonder. And perhaps it might inspire you to look a little closer at the ordinary light around you, because you never know when it might reveal something extraordinary. Have you ever witnessed a natural light phenomenon that took your breath away? Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if you want to explore more hidden wonders of the world, don't forget to subscribe to Wonder Explorer.